On screen is a look at the current reality on an Indian plastics manufacturing floor. Behind the constant hum of these heavy machines, the sector is dealing with severe, immediate supply constraints. The primary catalyst driving this stress isn't local demand. Global geopolitical uncertainty is creating widespread apprehension up and down the supply chain. That macro-level anxiety is trickling down to the factory floor, translating into actual physical shortages across key plastic grades, specifically polypropylene, polyethylene, and PVC. The constraints are tightly concentrated. If your lines depend on polyethylene, you are likely already feeling acute shortages in low-density and linear low-density grades. We can see this sentiment tracked directly in the latest market intelligence update from Polymer Bazaar. They're preparing to issue their highly awaited predictive pricing forecast, and their baseline data confirms an incredibly bullish market. Standard supply and demand logic has effectively paused. Procurement is currently driven by fear-based stockpiling, and that requires an entirely different approach to purchasing. Indian polymer producers finalized their late July ex-works price hikes. That set a new, higher baseline for the entire market. Almost immediately, Open Bazaars reacted by quoting heavy premiums that sit significantly above those new official baselines. This bar chart visualizes the current pricing landscape. You have your fixed ex-works baseline, and towering over it is the current Open Bazaar premium. But hovering right next to that is a blurred, unpredictable variable, the August 1st revision. That August 1st date is causing market paralysis. Buyers are terrified that the next official baseline will jump even higher to match current spot rates. Procurement managers are staring at a blunt choice. You can pay the heavily inflated spot premiums right now to guarantee material, or you can wait for that August 1st revision and risk a complete stockout if prices surge again. Navigating this gap means looking past unit economics. You are calculating the survival and continuity of your manufacturing lines. Let's break this down by material, starting with polypropylene. A lot of operators are looking at global uncertainty and choosing to buy heavy inventory immediately. We've built a comparison table to evaluate these strategies. For polypropylene, the input is buying heavy inventory. The direct outcome is secured supply. You guarantee your production lines stay moving despite the prevailing grade shortages. But the trade-off is steep. You tie up massive working capital. If those geopolitical tensions ease and the market softens, your competitors will access cheaper materials while you're sitting on expensive stock. Over in the polyethylene market, latent apprehension is driving converters aggressively back into the bazaars. If you buy LD and LL grades today, your outcome is simple. You protect your facility from documented physical material shortages. The trade-off here is a math problem. If you are locked into fixed price contracts with your own customers, paying these high current PE premiums rapidly destroys your profitability. For both PP and PE, buying early guarantees your physical supply. It also takes the geopolitical risk hanging over the global market and places it squarely on your balance sheet. In the PVC market, higher overseas offers are creating a strong impression that domestic price hikes are right around the corner. Let's look at a new table focusing on PVC. If you procure at prevailing domestic prices right now, the outcome is that you avoid the inevitable hikes that historically follow those overseas spikes. But again, there is a trade-off. Committing your capital today strictly limits your cash flow flexibility for any other operational needs leading up to that August 1st revision. Navigating these distinct markets requires data. Converters are increasingly turning to tools like Polymer Bazaar's 5-second AI WhatsApp chatbot. You send a message, and the tool provides rapid, frictionless access to algorithmic Open Bazaar sentiment. The risk here is psychological. When an entire industry relies on crowdsourced market sentiment, latent apprehension can easily become a self-fulfilling prophecy. This fast-moving screen represents the trade-off of relying on automated sentiment tools. They provide raw speed, but they lack your individual business context. If you don't check that data against your factory's actual burn rate, it can quickly trigger panic buying. Predictive AI can accurately take the market's temperature. Only a human procurement manager can decide if their specific business can afford the heat. In a volatile, expensive market, your reactions must be dictated by your specific business model. General predictive panic is not a strategy. Polymer Bazaar's intelligence points heavily toward continued upswings. Treat that as a critical input to weigh, rather than an automatic mandate to buy. This decision tree maps out how you should respond. The most critical filter is your output. We start at the top. What is your customer contract type? We'll follow the left path first. This is for converters operating on strict just-in-time manufacturing schedules, where failing to deliver triggers severe penalties. If you fall into this group, your recommendation is to procure now. Absorb the open bazaar premium immediately. Treat that extra cost as an insurance policy to guarantee your LD and LL supply. Now look at the right path. This is for operators holding a healthy buffer stock of 30 days or more, dealing with tighter cash flow constraints. Your recommendation is to pause. Do not let latent apprehension force you into peak premium buying. Use the predictive data to prepare your finances, but wait for the official August 1st X-Works settlement before committing capital. Surviving a geopolitical polymer squeeze is rarely about perfectly predicting the next price hike. It's about aligning your purchasing timing perfectly with your company's financial endurance.